welcome back. I'm sitting outside the gym. I'm about to go in, but thought I'd just say good morning to you guys and just get some thoughts out. I'm having a lot of thoughts this morning. This morning has been rough mentally. Nothing has, like, in reality has been tough about this morning at all. I laid in bed, edited some videos, and played with the dogs, and now I'm going to go to the gym. But just mentally, it's been kind of a taxing day. My mindset's just not right today. I think a lot of things are piling up. I've mentioned previously a little bit that I have borderline personality disorder on this channel. And I don't really, a lot of the times, know how to approach talking about that in videos. So I don't talk a lot about it. But I'd like to start changing that. So that's what this is. My mindset's not right today, and I think that's for quite a few reasons, actually. Some are realistic reasons. I've been sick, my period is upcoming, things like that, that are just, you know, taking a toll on how I physically feel. I don't feel as energized and all of that as I usually would. Also, I think yesterday was such an up. Yesterday was such a good day. It was such a high that I think every high is met with an equal low. So it's just like, and that's pretty common for me. After like a particularly fun day, the next day I just feel particularly down. And with the addition of everything else adding on top of it, it's just like making me feel pretty weighted. Like I don't feel particularly sad or anything. Like I'm not spiraling the way I would a lot of the times. And I think that's because I am intentionally, like, lately becoming more aware of some of my triggers and some of the things. Like I said, I noticed that I tend to be a little bit more down after an up day, so I kind of knew that I might not feel as good today, and I've kind of not been feeling great the last couple mornings waking up and whatnot. So I've kind of seen it coming, right? So I can prepare, and some of the ways that I prepare is really just make sure that I am practicing that, like, logical problem-solving positive, like, pathways in my brain, because that's a newer habit for me. Being more healthy in a more healthy mindset is newer to me, so that pathway in my brain is not as practiced as like some of the more negative ones are. So I find myself when I'm a little bit more vulnerable, where like I'm not feeling great for some like realistic physical reasons, I feel like that's when my mindset easily slips into where I get negative thoughts, and more of them start to pop up, and I go round and round them, and then I get into this like negativity spiral. So in order to combat that today, I've been just doing like intentionally the opposite of that. I took some time this morning to just do some intentional positivity. I read some positive mantras. I just thought of some myself as well. Once I kind of got the juices flowing from looking at some online and just kind of reading through some general positive ones, it kind of got me going, and I was able to think of more specific ones to me and like thinking of them on my own, which is usually the way I like to do affirmations, like specific to me rather than just off of a general paper that I find. But that can help me start, is the point. So I did some intentional positivity, thought of some of the things in my life that I'm grateful for, some things that are going well, some things that, you know, especially in the areas of which I was thinking negatively about, I intentionally thought of things in those areas that are positive and good and going the way that I like, just to balance things out, right? Just so that I don't overwhelm myself with negative thoughts. Because it's good to, you know, be aware of things that aren't going the way you want in life or whatnot. But I just go round and round and round and ruminate way too much on things like that sometimes. And it's just not helpful. That's not like a positive problem-solving mindset. That's just like a negative going round and round the problem kind of mindset. You know what I mean? It's different than like thinking about it to problem solve. It's just going round and round it to feel bad. That's very different, okay? So instead of going around it to feel bad, I just thought of some of the ways in which in those areas I am pleased, or things are going well, or in ways in which, you know, I just started asking questions. If I'm not pleased in certain areas, is there certain things, certain steps or certain things that I could start doing that will get me to where I'm happy in those areas? And that's the key when I'm feeling negative, is I have to start asking some positive questions. That really is very helpful to me, I've found. I have to start asking positive questions, like, how can I get to, what do I want, things like that. So it's like, okay, if I'm not happy in this area in my life, what do I want in that area? Clearly define that, and then clearly define what steps I need to take. And is there any of those steps that I could start taking today? Any small steps? Any steps that like can prepare me for what I need to be doing? Things like that. And it just makes me feel like I'm doing something about the problem rather than just going round and round it unsolved. So that makes me feel good. And like I said, I'm sitting outside the gym. The next thing I'm going to do is go get a good workout in. I am starting to feel better from the flu that I had, thank goodness, which is one of the things I'm grateful about today. I'm starting to feel much better. I can go get a light workout in. I'm not going to do anything serious. Yesterday was my first day back in a couple of weeks, and then I also went to Venice, and you guys saw the vlog from yesterday. So just going to take it really easy again today. Just get very light movement in. I like to just put on some really I have a workout playlist. I think it's actually public on YouTube actually. So if you want to see my workout YouTube, it's in my playlists. But I just put on my workout playlist, got a bunch of upbeat songs that are positive minded and things like that. Get a good workout in, get some endorphins pumping. I know that's going to make me feel so much better. And then we're going to go probably on a nice little walk at the lake, just get some sunshine, just do some healthy, positive things that are gonna keep me in a good mindset today. So at the gym today, I mostly just did some standing core exercises, some arm exercises, and a little bit of leg exercises with these weights. These are, I believe they're 5 pounds each weights. And so you can see there, I was just kind of doing the side core movement. I did that on both sides, and I feel that very much on the sides of my abdominals. And then here I can feel this movement gives me a more overall feeling in the front and the sides of the abdominals. So I like this one. This one really feels good on my back too. The posture of standing up straight feels really good. And then I just go, actually, I believe you've seen this. This is a pretty standard little routine that I go through where I do some arm movements here, and I just do arm movements in various motions, get different parts of the arms. I don't claim at all to know what I'm doing. These are just like a conglomerate of various things I've seen. I learned a couple of them from a personal trainer that I saw once. I learned a couple of them online. So just kind of put some things together that I saw, and here I'm doing, I have to put in quotes, jumping squats. I don't jump, but I do go up on my toes. I can't do jumping. That's too high impact on my knees. But this is one of the ones that the personal trainer had me doing, and she said, just come up onto your toes, and that's fine. And then, as promised, we took a beautiful walk near the lake. Most of the birds at this lake near me are domestic birds that have just been kind of dumped here, and I'm actually showing you Cuddles. This is one of the known domestic birds. He must have been raised by humans because he is so friendly. He comes right up to humans, eats out of your hand. He's the cutest little bird. He's so unusual. Hi, it's the next day. I am about to go into the gym and do the whole thing again. I completely ditched you yesterday after our walk. That's my bad. I do want to go ahead and just sort of put a pin in yesterday's video by sharing these final thoughts. So basically yesterday after that beautiful walk, what a lovely walk. I loved walking around the lake. I loved looking at the birds, and it was beautiful weather. But after that lovely little walk, we got some groceries, ate some food, and which is one of the things I wanted to mention that definitely plays a big role in my mental health is I have absolutely fallen off of my weight loss lately. In fact, I haven't even been on a scale in a while because I just know that it's not going to be bad. I think I mentioned it in the previous video, like a lot of times when people get sick, they lose their appetite. Not me. I've been eating the whole time, not exercising, and I don't feel good about it. And so that's one of the things that definitely was just compounding yesterday, was the fact that I was just feeling really bad about the fact that I hadn't been doing well. So one of the things that I needed to make sure to do yesterday to start to feel better was to do well in that area, at least somewhat, like at least put some effort in, right? So I just stuck to my fasting window. I've been trying to do 16/8, and at times I do, but I've just been off of it recently. So I just definitely tried to stick to the 16/8 and just eat a little bit lower calorie and make sure I was in a deficit yesterday. And you saw me go to the gym, so I got some exercise in. And so both of those things definitely made me feel better mentally, because I don't feel good when I'm not working toward my goal, and I feel much better when I am. It really is that simple. So all I really needed to do was just like make myself get back on track, and yesterday was a good step in that. Like I said, back to fasting, got an exercise in, so that felt really, really good. Then I basically just spent the evening at home doing fun, relaxing things that are also still good for my brain though. Scrabble Sprint is something that I play a lot. I very much enjoy. I've been playing for years. It's something that not only do I just enjoy, it's just fun. I just view it as playing a game, especially because me and my partner play it together, which just adds to the fun. So it's just a fun game we play, but it is so good for my mental health and my prefrontal cortex and problem solving, because playing word games is problem solving. You can also do other like problem solving activities. I try to do math sometimes. I think that's probably like the best problem solving activity for my brain, but I don't enjoy it as much. So I don't like do it as long and like enjoy it as much. So I find personally that playing word games is just like one of my favorite ways to just constantly keep, as I was talking about yesterday, those pathways, these new pathways that I'm forming, just constantly keep them practiced by just constantly doing problem solving activities, like playing little games. And then basically just like smoked some weed and spent the evening watching my show with my partner, which is always a fun time. We love to spend our evenings together just watching our show. We've been watching a show called Married at First Sight, which is like really unusual for us. It's not usually the kind of show that we would watch. We don't tend to enjoy like these reality show type, you know, like reality TV type shows. But this one we watch, I think, very differently than the average viewer. We love to sort of do like a psychological analysis of these couples. It's basically, if you're not familiar, the premise of the show is that experts, psychological experts, pair people together and they're married upon meeting each other. And then they have to see if they can make the marriage work or get a divorce. And we just like to watch it because it's very interesting to watch from as a complete third party, watch other couples and how their relationships progress, how they fight, and we see some patterns. We start to see patterns, right? With a lot of couples, a lot of the same recurring issues will happen, or same pattern. People fall into patterns, right? And we can kind of see those when we're objectively looking at a scenario that we are not involved in, we are not emotional about. We can completely objectively look at them and what they're doing and analyze that and take some of what we learn and apply it to our own selves. So it's like, if I see someone who's like, oh, she was like really reactive, it would have, you know, ultimately played to her goal better if she had reacted like this, I can then take that and apply that to my own life. And it's more difficult to look at things objectively when I'm looking at my own life, because my emotions tend to cloud my, I think, rationale more than I would like, or more than I'm even aware sometimes. So I think that it's sort of like this, like looking at it from a third party perspective. You can do that in your own life scenario, but I think it helps me get into doing that for myself when I look at other people and can like practice that objectively looking at a scenario, right? So it's kind of a fun time just hanging out at home with my partner watching our show, but it's also good. Just every scenario that we do, like I can take something and make it into like something that's good for my mental health, right? Or I can take any scenario throughout the day and look at it in a way that is positive, or like intentionally find a problem to solve or intentionally just be creating these positive pathways all the time, just with my actions, mantras, and all kinds of things. And again, I'm just like speaking off the cuff, off the top of my head here. I'm sure there's like so many other things I do, or so many other things that probably should be mentioned, but these are just the thoughts as they come, you know. So I think that pretty much wraps up what I wanted to say about my mental health day there. I definitely ended the day feeling way, way, way better. Just doing small things. I just spent 20 minutes at the gym. I just stuck to my eating window. Like it was small activities throughout the day. I just took a few moments to be intentionally positive and grateful, but doing small things throughout my day, just taking a few minutes here and there, just has such a huge effect on my life. So I'm really glad, really grateful for these new habits that I'm forming, and like these new pathways that are growing in my brain, because it just feels so much lighter to be positive and happy. It just feels so much better. Thank you so much for watching. I don't know what else to say other than that. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the little thumbs up down below. Subscribe while you're hanging out down there. We've got so much fun content coming to the channel this January. The content doesn't stop when Vlogmas does. See you in the next one. Bye.